Hello and welcome to Live Coding Happy Hour for November 1st, Day of the Dead. Welcome, everybody. I'm Dave Slusher. I'm joined with Chuck Tomasi and Andrew Barnes. And I'm, of course, hearing myself echoing. So you guys
All right,
introduce.
I'll do the intro for myself first then. Hello, I'm Andrew Barnes, developer advocate at ServiceNow. Been with the company a little bit over a year. Been doing ServiceNow stuff a little bit over 5 years. Specialize in integrations, custom applications, and managing development teams. I've been doing enterprise application management for quite a while now, teaching developers, growing them, nurturing them, and just delighted to be here today. And we've also got Chuck Tomasi.
I think I am part of the Day of the Dead. Recently back from Frankfurt. That was a whirlwind tour for Now at Work Frankfurt. Thank you for those who did show up for that, and I look forward to seeing more of you in Sydney and DC. My name is Chuck Tomasi, Senior TPMM at ServiceNow. Similar background to Andrew and Dave with custom applications, integrations, and been doing this for, 2008. So what does that make it? About 11 years now since my first sysadmin course. Was a customer for a couple of years, been with ServiceNow since mid-2010 and enjoying almost every minute of it.
That qualification is new. Something happened. All right. I'm Dave Slusher. I'm a developer advocate here at ServiceNow. I've been with the company we're getting very close to my 6th anniversary.
Six year close,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Been in this role over 4 years at this point. And work with Andrew and have worked with Chuck fairly closely. And there you go. We're doing for the 3 episodes that we did during the month of October, we did our Linode Spoke for Spoketoberfest. If you did not qualify for your shirt yet, I hate to tell you this, but
Too late.
You didn't do it.
That ship has sailed.
I got mine this year. I didn't get one in 2018, and I was bound and determined to get one in 2019. And that Spoke is actually up on Share. So if you are somebody who has some need to play around with Linode's VMs, you can create them from Flow Designer now. If you got IntegrationHub enabled on New York, you will need New York.
You will need New York.
But it's got a lot of cool demo stuff.
Yeah, it's great to check out even if you don't need a Linode Spoke. You can just go and load that Share up and see how we built it and play around with it, even if you don't have a real need.
All right. So, Andrew, what don't you do before we introduce the beers? Why don't you give us a very, very quick abstract of what we're going to do this week?
All right. So I changed what we were doing at the last minute. So I updated the description. We are going to be doing some automation around YouTube and our management app for managing our work. So we're going to do a little automation with YouTube. Then we're going to do a little calendar sending. And then we're going to do a little bit more YouTube automation of completing the loop of after a video is published to retrieve back that publish URL because I've been having to do manual things and I hate that.
Yeah, there was a theme here, which is, we have reduced 90% of, what we do in scheduling this show that you're watching now, and we're after that 10%.
We are chasing that tail.
We don't want to do anything manually ever again.
The last 10% is going to take 90% of your effort. Is that what?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
I think it'll take 10% of our effort.
We're getting close to just done.
I mean, and when we say manually, what we mean by manually is touching YouTube and their ever morphing interface. What we want to do is use the only touch point for scheduling the show is scheduling it via our ServiceNow instance, which is a completely valid use case, right? Which is we like ServiceNow to sit in the center of this thing and then go and do all the work everywhere else. So you only touch one thing. All right. So before we get into that, let's go around the horn, starting with Andrew, and let's talk about our beers.
I have today a DeClaw Sweet Baby Jesus, which is a chocolate peanut butter porter, which I am not a peanut butter fan, but this one's got a very subtle peanut butter flavor to it, and it is from DeClaw in Baltimore, Maryland.
Nice. All right, check.
I have a Stone Ripper. It was a choice between this and the Stone Ripper. That's the only beer I have left in my fridge. So the fact that it's the last of everything means it's probably the least of my favorites. But as I start to enjoy this, I start to enjoy this. From Stone in San Diego.
I only had one beer in my fridge today, so I had to fix that because it was a Busch Light, and I couldn't do it.
Ooh.
Okay, then I've got from the Poly Island Brewing Company. I've got their Oktoberfest beer. So Andrew, your Sweet Baby Jesus is a very good day after Halloween beer, right? The chocolate. It's basically like a Reese's cup in
it is like a
beer
Reese's
form.
cup in a beer form.
I was thinking the Sweet Baby Jesus part was like, oh, it's time to set up all the Christmas decorations now.
There's a very similar one from Terrapin called Liquid Bliss that I am a big fan of. So I should do a head-to-head between those two.
Ooh, I don't think I've tried that one. We should make that our Christmas test.
there you
Get
go.
together for our Christmas feast together and test those two.
Sounds good. All right. So Andrew, if you want to
Sure.
hit the share, I will go ahead and
hit the share. Let's see if I get the right screen. Let's do that. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is right now there is a button in the live cast, the control room that we actually have to go hit right now. And I would like to not have to do that again. And actually how do I get to I hardly ever
screen real estate thing going on.
Yeah, I'll work on that while you guys while you talk.
Figured you were on it.
So if I go pull up the live, nope. I actually have to go into this one. All right, go in. And then here, live control room advanced settings. So here under this advanced setting, there's this auto start feature that I'd really, so we've got a bunch of this automated, but they added this and I'd really want it. And so I've been going and clicking this every week for about, I don't know, 8 or 9 weeks now. And I'm done. I'm done remembering to go to click this. So we're gonna that's the very first thing we're gonna fix.
For 3 years, the act of starting the show involved numerous frequent searches for that button. When it changed from the place of where it was, there was numerous. I have I think all of us at some point have Googled where that was because we could not find the button at showtime.
Because it moves. Because that is the one static thing in the YouTube APIs is they don't stay static. All right, so we're going to look for auto start in there. Let's see if we can find.
I was going to say, it sounds like it's got to be part of a request payload somewhere.
So we want
there it is. I always thought you had enable auto start was like at the very bottom of that sample payload.
Of the first one, right here.
There it is.
You see it on here?
I don't see it.
I did see it. Actually, I was looking at YouTube, so I was actually behind you. Yeah,
there it is.
Bottom of that, right?
Enable auto start. There we go.
For once, the YouTube APIs do not violate the principle of least surprise.
All right. So broadcast should start automatically when you start streaming video on the bound line stream. Yes, this is what I want. Thank you.
And that is contained in the content
details, which I don't believe that we have crafted that. So if you've seen any of our previous shows on YouTube, we've done quite a bit of work in IntegrationHub and Flow Designer, building connection points between our ServiceNow instance and YouTube. So what I've done is I've opened up the scheduled the broadcast action, which is what actually goes and creates my live stream event. I am sending content details,
but it's all part of one big payload
part, and then we've got a payload builder. So let's go check out our payload builder step.
I'm thinking maybe by just tweaking that.
And under content details, we already have an object here. Looks like we just need to add
enable auto start. True.
Another one in here. We are not reaching high on this, but it sure has been annoying.
Well, and that's it's worth looking at that payload because this is they have a really unusual separation. Like the way they factor out that their payload really takes some getting used to.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that we it doesn't feel like it's all contained in the same spot. It kind of it kind of gets bundled into sort of odd choices that don't. Here's the thing: is they've got the UI and then the tabs on the UI, and then there's a completely different organization inside the API.
It is a very different organization in the API versus the actual UI. That's
And after dealing with the
call
API,
out.
after dealing with the API for a while, I'm more comfortable now with the API, recognizing snippet versus content details versus blah blah blah.
So while
Like
we're
keeps
in here,
changing. and now they've got there's like a new beta UI studio. Like, oh my gosh.
yeah, just what I needed, and another YouTube API or a new interface.
UI, yeah.
Which is that to get away from that, that's why we're doing this. Again, we don't
Yes.
want to ever touch it. We don't want to ever see a new beta anything from them.
So the thing to do while we're here in this content details object is to look to see if we're not currently setting any of the things that we'd actually like to set. So we can go look at today's scheduled one and see if there were things that we wanted to set that were not. Like I actually think
allow embedding. Are you
I
setting
think I want to do this one.
You want to do low latency, not normal latency.
So we want to set the stream optimization.
Okay.
We want to
you want to set the caption certification,
which is here. So yeah, we didn't set that, so we want to do that one. Those two are definitely the only two that are really jumping out. So let's go do those, and then we'll see if there's any others. So caption certification. Let's see if we've got an example up here.
You had the enable, but that's not the thing we want.
That's
we want
the thing. Yeah,
we want the thing we want is has not aired on TV.
We want like this.
Yeah,
that thing.
And
that's one of those things.
Could you maybe like give me the something useful like here to tell me that your internal name for this thing?
I was thinking the exact same thing, kind of like when you go into a properties page on ServiceNow and it tells you the name of the property.
That'd be really nice, YouTube.
It is literally the same information that is in the drop down.
All right, so let's see if we can find that one.
And that might be one that's it's not impossible. It's not on this. Well, I guess it has to be on. You would think it has to be on.
Not necessarily. Somewhere. Sometimes you have to do a different endpoint with a different payload to turn that on. It's really interesting sometimes.
That's type.
In order to get A, you have to call B to get A.
Yeah, what you're really looking for is the content.
So that's the type and the enable, not the certification. There was one more. Nope, that's latency preference. So here's
certification doesn't show up anywhere in your search. Closed caption type.
No. So
tell you what, if you want, don't worry about that one because that one may be obscure. I will look in the API docs behind you.
Okay. And then we'll take a look at stream optimizations because I think I did see that one. Stream. Oh, that's way too many choices.
Yeah, Optimus. There you go.
That's monitor stream. Let's see what the choices are. How about latency?
There you go. Enable low latency.
There we go. Enable. That seems a little.
It's a bit Boolean.
Why would I have three? If they really give me 3 Booleans for one thing, that would be
I don't
special.
see the other two. That's
here's the thing. That one is one that may very well be violating principle of least surprise. In that maybe you have to say true to do anything lower than low, or anything lower than normal. But then this preference is where you would pick low or ultra low.
No, the values are normal, low, and ultra low.
But you still have to enable. I think you need 2 content.
Can be. Okay, so these are two different things.
All right.
It's used
So-
instead of that. So
So
if
this
all you
one
want-
is enabling users to do low latency
Oh, okay.
receiving, and this is what we're
Broadcasting.
sending.
Gotcha.
okay.
Latency preference.
So this should be fine to add this one and not the other one because we don't need the other one. Oh, we already have it in there,
Good.
No,
but it didn't
that's
set it.
That is a problem because
Oh,
Latency preference low
you're right. It didn't set it.
is it in content
and latency preference low.
That is a
Hmm.
puzzlement.
Because it's definitely, I can assure you, it was created by this this action we're looking at right here. So why? I don't understand. I was wrong before. These aren't separate things.
You have to
reading
set
it.
one to get the other.
I think so. Maybe we need to.
So
Do you think
I
we need
think
that as
I'm
well?
going to use
Turn
this
that on
one
as well. Turn that as well.
I'm not feeling wild about that, but it's a Boolean. We'll set it. Let's go. All right. We'll quote that in a second. And true. All right. So that's looking okay. Enable low latency, latency preference, low latency preference, enable low latency. All right. That looks fine. Were you successful in finding the other one? Or are we going to just.
Yeah, let's skip it. I will continue to
Fine.
look for it.
All right.
If I find it in a timely, I found like a captions ingestion URL, which is not what we want. All I want is to just tell it it's never aired on television, and I have not found that so far.
And given some of the things with the YouTube API, it very well may be a thing you can only do after you've created the thing, and it's actually a whole different API set to adjust it than this one.
Yep.
Yeah, it is not impossible. That just is not in the API.
It might be tucked in live streams versus live broadcasts, because that's a thing that they would do.
I agree.
But
we've seen Stranger.
We have seen Stranger Things. All right, so I think that sets all of the things that we wanted set that we've looked at. I think everything else is set. I don't need to set video language. Yeah, that looks fine. All right, so we have done that part. Cool. So I don't even feel like it's super necessary to test this right now because we added two little things into this. I'm feeling pretty comfortable, so I just went ahead and published it because that's how we're rolling today. The next thing that I want to do is, and this is going to be for our friend Chuck here and others that are guests on the show to get a scheduled calendar item so that it makes it easy for coordination, so we know right when we schedule these things who's going to be on the show, and then everybody who's appropriate has the calendar, and we don't have to
Nice.
do the asking of the question and responses.
So you want to send out an email with a calendar invite on it,
Right?
Like,
So this
You've done that before?
Have I done that before? I have sent ICSs from ServiceNow before.
Okay.
Yes. There is a utility for that. It's tucked in, I believe, change management.
You can copy the one from Change. Yeah.
So we can go look at that one and use that. But the script include, I believe, is generic enough to be used anywhere. I haven't used it anywhere else, but we're going to figure that out today. The first thing, though, is determining where we would like to store that data on this record. And I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to reuse some task-based reference lists, or if I want to make it M to M or make new fields
For like the guest hosts.
for anyone other than for just who's going to be on the show. Like
I did something similar in Tech Now, and I made an M to M, just
all right,
so I wouldn't have to
mess with
worry
your primary data
yeah.
object. That seems reasonable, and I was sort of leaning that way right before the show. Was that this feels like it could be just an M to M. I considered using the watch list and the work notes list just because it's a task-based table, and that sort of aligns to the I was going to do the work notes list was the you have to be's, and anyone in the watch list is a tentative, like they're optional. They can say whether or not they're going to show up or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I was going to approach it if I use those. But working with reference lists is sometimes annoying. So let's make it M to M. I am okay with that.
I mean,
that's how you did it. Let me ask the more important question: are you happy with that?
I don't send any notifications to those people. That's why I'm kind of second guessing that. The notifications would be almost trivial if you did use a watch list, though, because that's more of a natural thing to do. Say with any ITSM notification is, hey, here's who the recipient is, and here's a bunch of other people who might want to care.
Right.
Here's the question, Andrew. So are you going to create like one ICS? So everyone's going to get the same ICS, but are we going to insert like email addresses in the names fields of the ICS? Or is it like basically a thing that would be describing the time that would go on a calendar, but it's not like to them in the ICS itself?
Well, the time to go on the calendar will actually be the time here, and the thing in the thing I'm sending would be, yes, I need to know which email address to send these to, and
not to send it to, but inside the ICS itself. And I don't know that much about the ICS format. I don't know, like, does the ICS itself have the invitees, like whether they're optional or required? That's inside that format, right?
I'd have to look at it again. I don't know that it.
I think that is contained in the ICS because that's how and I'm
That's
just working off blurry memory at this, but that's how it knows whether or not to show you as the recipient, whether or not you're tentative or not, is that data is contained inside the ICS format itself.
So is that going to drive your design decision if you need to get that information?
And I need to
put
merge
that in there. Yeah.
For the ICS creation. I didn't think of thank you for bringing that up, because if I'm going to send one ICS out that contains all the data, it will have to be the tentatives and the not tentatives in the same crafting of the ICS.
We should probably take a look at one of those. What one of those files looks like.
We certainly can
that
do
might
that.
Have an impact as well. If we know what our end result is going to be, it might help determine.
Let's go take a look at the notifications and follow down the rabbit hole of where the thing that's creating them is, and then I'll see what I can feed it.
Todd is also saying, wouldn't you also want to capture the reply to know who said they're going to attend and not?
Yeah, but that'll be in our calendars.
Yeah, that's not good. The instance probably is not.
Yeah, I don't really care so much here in the ServiceNow instance what the replies are.
Okay.
Because
if we really did care, we'd probably have to set up an inbound email action, right? Too.
Yeah, which we can do.
There's that part's not a big deal. Calendar.integration is the template you're looking for.
Yeah. So this guy holds it. So let's go take a look at him. Templates. Are you not right there? I feel like it should have been right there. Email template. No. Templates under notifications. I bet it's notification template.
Not client templates. No,
that's the wrong one. We want email templates.
There it is. Right at the top.
Right at the top. What are you doing at the top there, buddy?
Okay. And if I remember right, we need to change. I'm thinking what Michael Ritchie told me on an episode a long time ago. We need to change that prod ID, and there was something else we needed to change as well.
Okay. So we've got required participant, and then we're inserting the users here.
Yep.
And this is who the sender is, and then all the rest of this stuff. So if we want to make a new template like this, we could adjust the required versus not. Trying to decide here the best way to do it. Could just make everyone required. Everybody's required. No. That is certainly the simplest, is to just dump everybody in the to field, and then who responds.
Is what you're trying to avoid figuring out what the format of that is?
Possibly. I'm just trying to go for fairly simple to actually like can be accomplishable in our window here, which is seems reasonable to just start from this and then maybe tweak it later. So we're gonna need to feed it at least one field for sure. The problem with trying to use other data pills for this, I guess I could use the CC.
I got the ITF page open. Opt dash participant rec dash participant. So all you need to do is change it to opt, and that's an optional.
Okay. So if I use the CC field and inserted that with the email script, that would be okay to have a second line here of who the CCs are. But I would definitely need a single email notification that would send it to all the people all at once, to keep all the things linked and to make it reasonable. Okay. So I don't think I care about where it's stored then, because I'm going to have to do a lookup anyway. So the architecture design decision is, I don't care. So list versus M2M is, I think, like the same amount of trouble.
So if it's a coin toss, then it's just whatever feels most natural to you, right?
Yeah, and I think probably the easiest way to do a reasonable M2M on this, or to store it, is actually use the artifact, the task-based tables, two different things, because they already accept emails and users in there, and that makes it easy. And I like a little easy in my life some days. So let's get them on here. Yeah. Let's get them on the view. So we want are we not task extended?
Uh-oh.
Well, that makes a difference.
That makes a huge difference.
I don't know that artifact is a task. In fact,
now I am sure it is not. Looking at this, I am now sure it is not task extended. So that means I don't have those two field types already set up ready for me, easy to use. So M2M feels, well, if it was the same design decision, I think two lists is still a fine way to go.
A list field or a related list of M2M? Which one you lean towards?
Two different list fields.
I would agree.
So I guess we're adding two new fields. Let's do it. You don't.
Why did you want to do that from table instead of just going into Form Designer?
Because habits die hard. I mean, it's
Okay.
it's whichever one you learned first is the one you go to. And the way I learned to create a new field on a table was to go to the
But
table
then now you
definition.
still have to do the form layout
But it automatically adds them to form layout.
at the end. That's not
Sure.
necessary. That's not necessarily where you want them.
No, it is not. So we want the required
Host,
required
attendee,
host.
guest. What?
Yeah, required host sounds lovely. Required host. This is a list on the user. I really wish sysuser was the first one that came up there.
So go delete the other table. How often do you use it?
I mean, I just mean generically for everyone all the time. No one should be choosing that other one, so
Delete it.
sysuser should be at the top. Optional host up host list user. That's hilarious that you say that though, because it has never occurred to me to go delete that table before.
If it bothers you, there's a way around it.
That has never occurred to me to just go delete it.
Unless you've got an integration that's tied to that table, and some people may. They may be doing a nightly LDAP import into that table. Then obviously don't.
Sure. And yep, video's fine. And so we want somewhere around, I don't know, up here seems fine. Required and optional. Hey, that's not where I said I wanted you guys. I said right here. That seems about right. It's good enough for government work today.
You bet.
All right. So we got our fields. So now we need to go duplicate this guy. And we want to duplicate him in our view. I don't know if insert stay is actually going to do what I want. Let's try it.
Don't you want a copy of that?
Sweet. I think it did what I wanted, which is just give me a copy.
No, point to your table.
Did it?
Yeah, I gave you a copy.
Well,
where'd the content go?
It dropped all the useful stuff. Well, whatever. I'll just go copy it.
That was
funny. That wasn't as nice as I wanted you to be there, Mr. Copy. Artifact calendar integration.
Sounds good.
Save. Go back to where we were at. Hey, what is it doing?
What?
It looked like it rendered some stuff, so I thought maybe there was something actually in there for a second.
It's messing with you.
It's just messing with me.
Now let's see if this works for you, because I have had varied success of copying off a read-only field.
Okay.
That did look very suspicious. Hold on a sec. It's not a message HTTP. Go back to the other one.
Oh, it's just message text.
Yeah.
But still, I could have.
Still didn't copy it.
Still didn't copy it. All right. And so we want to add a new one, which is attendee. Oh, what am I doing?
Let's
copy this. Y'all know me well. I love the copy paste stuff. And Dave, you said, what do I need to change here?
Is it OPT?
OPT.
Oh, look at you. You're the best.
And that would be your
CC.
Okay,
all right. Yes.
Okay. So how do you pick up that? I think you need to make a mapping.
What do you mean a mapping? So what I'm going to do?
Save your record.
So what I was going to do is grab these from. So I want this to be pretty generic.
Okay.
I mean, I could just do the fields, but I was going. But I can set these in my notification itself.
Right.
Not in the
template. Still need to figure out where it's going to get DT start and DT end. Those aren't actual fields or anything on a notification.
Well, that is reasonable. That's very reasonable.
So scroll down, scroll down, scroll down,
Scroll down what?
scroll down on your form. That's not where I was looking. There is a mapping file. This is what we did in Tech Now episode 39 many moons ago.
Mapping file?
Yes, to say I want this field mapped to this, like DT start should be represented by some field value. And I'm looking that information up right now. I know the name of the table. So you want to save what you got, just like you did. Perfect.
So there's a related list I need to load or something?
Yes. So go to the navigation filter up on the upper right. Your application menu navigator filter.
Right.
Upper left, excuse me. I'm sorry, upper left. I have direction dyslexia. I go to sys underscore IMPEX. I got to find the rest of it. I think it's map. Dot list.
Let's see if that gets us anywhere.
No.
All right. Well, we'll do a search on the table.
Yeah, I think it's impex underscore map. I'm finding it. Valid map entries for location DT.
Import export map? That doesn't seem right.
It's this impex map.
Okay.
So you need to create a new one of those or copy one that already exists, but it's got a related list at the bottom. So just take a look at the one for that change calendar that we looked at.
Yeah, we should be able to find the change, this one, right? This is the one.
Take a look at that one. And see how it
start
says
and end for D10 and D start. Okay.
Yes. So
all right. So we make a new one of these.
Yes.
I vaguely remember being on this page before.
It's one of those
rare when I was doing the
calendar
when I was working on the calendar integration.
Right.
Change request.
I think I did this once myself too.
Very rare. Just once.
But important to remember, and I don't know if it's that well documented, to be honest.
I can promise you I've done it 0 times. So.
Oh, you were part of episode 39. Come on. Were you not paying attention?
Probably not.
All right. Table. Do I actually want to set it on it? The other one wasn't set to a table.
Are you sure? Otherwise, how does it know which fields to pull it from?
I have no idea. Let's hit new field map and see what happens when you don't have a table set.
Map to a database field, map to a variable name. We want database field.
Variable name? No. Okay. External name. All right. And so we should probably pull that record up that we want. And we
had a DT start and a DT end for the start and end dates. We know we need at least that for an appointment, right?
Go over there. And blah, blah, blah. We need DT start and DT end. All right.
You may want location if you want to put in a URL for your
database field on which table, the artifact table.
This form could use a little layout to make it a bit more friendly. Where's your artifact table?
Those are all. That is a weird list of tables.
That is a weird list of tables.
It's clearly filtered by something.
That has some weird filters on this.
As many table fields are filtered by something.
Change request is on there.
These aren't all tasks. You want to see what it's filtered on?
I want to see what it's filtered on.
Base start equals
base start is true.
Not sure what that attribute actually does.
I have seen that before, but I don't store what that means. So that sucks.
That's disappointing.
did those mappings actually, this guy, yeah, they had the table set, so
Okay.
ugh.
What if we forced them? What if we just did like a glide record query and made it our?
Well, so the other thing that I was looking at was, why do I have to do that? Why can't I just reference the variables from the table here?
Because if you think about it, CC and 2, where are these values coming from?
So these
Well,
guys,
that's
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. Because
but
this mod count is an actual field. Description is an actual field.
these are directly from
Priority is
the
an actual field.
target table.
Give it a
So
try.
I feel like I can just reference the target table directly and I'll be fine. And
Try
these
it.
will come from
Those will come from the mail parameters.
the mail. But I actually have to go to the correct one, which is this one. Switch into my right scope. So
I would play along with that game.
yeah, it seems inconsistent, and I don't like inconsistent. Like, they should all either use that method or none of them.
Yeah, what's the value of having that extra layer?
So that's the tricky bit there. And so we want the start time, which is this guy. Well, let's undo that. And pull that back to there.
So question from the chat is, can't you also use mail scripts?
To do what part of this?
I don't know. What
so yes, I could be crafting this message text body in a mail script. Yes, I could.
But if you needed to synthesize something that wasn't directly available from the table, like for example, if you wanted to do, like if you didn't have the 2 in the CC and you wanted to do a join of something.
Yes.
And let's get I don't think we have an end time field at all because we don't actually care.
That might be where you would calculate.
We'll need to calculate that actually. So we'll need start time and plus a value. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not excited about that part.
You know, you can do that. Mail script.
Right.
Janos come through. We got your mail script in for you, Janos.
I'm leaning more towards
an additional field with a calculated value.
Just email script, mail script, doing our message here. So to put it into so I want to actually dump all of this into the message.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the syntax of mail scripts now.
Template.print is your output.
So I need to dump all this into a variable.
Well, you want to have valid values in there too.
Well,
you're not going to have the curly brace stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get glide record up in here for
which
this.
you already have.
So I've got current, so I'll just have to current in front of these things. And mail.to for those two. Ugh. This is not being as fun as I wanted it to be.
Yeah, how back up. You thought crafting an ICS was going to be fun.
I was crazier in a life before when I ran enterprise email systems. So yes, I could have at least in a previous life thought
Andrew,
that this was fun.
Let's go with the template. We know we have a few gaps in it, but let's see if it's putting in some of those values that we wanted it to, just to test.
Right. So you basically just have to invert this, right? Everything that was interpolated before becomes the variable, and everything that was the standard stuff becomes like a quoted string.
Yeah. So we just leave this the way it is. We'll use this template in a notification, and let's just slap together a notification to see if we're getting some of these values in here.
Okay. I'm okay with that. let's get at least the start time here, and let's put something in the end time, which is
Why don't we? Do you want to just add
we could
a?
do-
Um.
I could
Well,
just do start time again.
hell, man,
do
why don't we
something.
just put in? I mean, is there a problem putting end time on the?
There's definitely not a problem putting end time as a field on Artifact Manager. Like
Now,
I'm
because
That might be the easiest solution.
do we? Here's the thing I'm trying to think.
because we could have variable time length.
Exactly. Like, what if
things.
we want to do a 2-hour thing
Yeah.
Yep.
and
So I'm
schedule a
fine with
2-hour
that.
thing?
We don't have location, so we're going to need to
that
hard
plus-
code that.
Yeah, a
roughly.
plus 60-minute hard coded thing is one of those things that just feels like a time bomb for the future, right?
Yep.
So location, let's drop in. Do we have a field that I want to drop the zoom in, or just hard code the zoom? I'm feeling like hard coding the zoom today. Yeah, I'm feeling like hard coding the zoom.
So the
I'm
location
not
should
actually going to
be-
put in the correct one, but I will put
Right.
a zoom
Just put a URL in there. See what happens.
URL in here, which is going to be. Did someone at least have the format of the zoom one handy?
I'll get you that.
HTTPS://
You were talking, but I couldn't hear.
I said
Try
yeah.
it again.
HTTPS://
Zoom.com.
There's a J in there somewhere. Hold on. I thought it was servicenow.zoom.us.
Service now.zoom.us
/J for join, and then your
then a
number.
number.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There we
6,
go.
blah, blah, blah.
All right. We don't need. I don't even know sequence is needed, but who cares? The number of the record, that's fine. The date timestamp.
I'm pretty sure that sequence would come into play if you ever change it, right?
Yes.
Like when you do the updated thing,
Yeah,
and
when
that's how it knows
sends out
how to,
another. Yeah.
Yeah, it knows which one is the superseding one.
We've got description. Let's validate that our description actually is okay. Good. Who knows that? Because this is a new table. So, what was the other field? Artifact. I just want to look at the data object real quick because we've got description and abstract, and sometimes those are different. So I might throw abstract here in summary.
My historic source also says we need to change that prod ID up on top.
Okay. That's fine. Priorities. We probably don't even have. Well, we do have. We got a priority field. Yeah, that's fine. And then we need to change this to what?
Microsoft Exchange Server 2007 seems to work well.
Oh boy.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to?
That's not a prod ID right there. It probably just gets stuck in some email header anyway.
So do we need to look up what a valid prod ID would be, or?
No, just change it to Microsoft Exchange Server 2007.
Okay.
For the whole thing, or in between those slashes?
Nope, just Microsoft space Exchange space Server space 2007.
Space Exchange Server 2007.
I trust Michael Ritchie's historic information. Yep.
All right. V calendar request event, the to, the CC, the from. Those are from the email record. I'll need to set the CC, but I can handle that. Yeah, that looks not horrible. Let's do it. Now we need a notification to dump this into. That is not where I wanted. Right here, please. New. When to send. State. Changes to. Ready to publish. Updated. Inserted. Who will receive? Users. in fields. This is where we'll get the required people.
Yep.
And then optionals will have to go into email script. What it will contain. And template is going to be here. And I don't remember what I called the template.
Artifact something.
There we go. Let's throw in short description. What is the name of our short description field? Title. Title.
Do you want a little preceding text like stream invite : or something like that?
I would think so.
Oh, sure. I should probably do something like that. Invite for
something searchable and filterable and
it's not necessarily always going to be live coding.
Yeah,
happy
well,
hour,
though. We want to see if anything works first.
Right.
In fact, I'm going
time. We need a minimum viable product.
In fact, I'm gonna change that to work in progress so I don't trigger the creation of live streams. So and I'll handle the CC in a second. I just want to see if the calendar gets generated at all.
Button. I want to see what comes out of the preview notification.
Oh Lord, you are asking too much of this thing.
Hey,
there you go.
Mail twos are empty. The location is.
Well, I don't have anything set, so that's not unreasonable.
We have a preview record selected. Is anything in there look like it should? Sequence. UID.
Let's do.
Get the start time. DT start and DT end are both empty.
Let's get one from this year, so we're sure it's got some data in it.
Oh, DT start.
DT start.
Oh, wait a minute. What time date format is supposed to go in there?
Give
me 1 second.
That's a really good question. But that very well may be the weirdness of why just those two date fields are what is mapped.
Maybe
there might be something weird going on with the
date
mapping.
Dash time. Okay, all right. I'm unwinding the spec right now. So in their spec, they say date dash time, which I think is there. I think I'm going to find some BNF if I keep following this. Goik.
And I can go ahead and add the end time while we're here.
Ooh. So this is not the best news we've ever seen.
Yes, the purpose of the sys impacts map is to convert date to Zulu format.
So someone did confirm that was the purpose of those mappings.
I'm looking at the Tech Now video through the scrubber right now.
Hold on 1 second, Andrew. In the chat.
Y'all are doing above and beyond reference looking up today. So
this is why we record things, people, so we don't have to remember them later. We can just look them up.
All right, you're going to get an example in of the date format, which is not which is totally doable, but not trivially doable.
It's that Zulu format of year, month, day, T, hours, minutes, seconds, Z, something. That I think we do want to go to our sys impacts map.
Oh, yeah.
And create that for the start and end dates, just to convert them.
Yeah, looking at that example, Dave, you're right, sir. We are going to need some conversion there. So I guess that's the purpose of those.
That's the purpose of it.
They did have a reason for existing.
Says so right at time mark 2805. Purpose, convert date to Zulu format.
I wonder where it's doing that, though.
I don't know. Maybe it's in the Java code that it just goes, hey, I'll do that for you.
Because there's nothing in here. Like it just says
This is exactly the kind of thing that I think would be a great. This is the kind of reason why we import Moment.js into some of these things, right? Is it is so much easier than any of the built-in glide system tools. Like when you need a very specific specifically defined format.
Note the name of the map file is iCalendar.tablename. That's important. So you want yours called iCalendar. What was it? Artifact or X underscore something artifact?
Yeah, which was not the table name. So
right. It wasn't.
So there is something else that is operating behind the scene.
There's some voodoo magic going on in the Java code.
Yeah, to quote ELO, there's some strange magic.
That is priceless. All right.
But so it means no coding for you.
Well, that's assuming that if I do this, it will magically just convert it for me.
Right. It may not be able to do that for an arbitrary table.
Yeah, for an arbitrary table, it may not be looking for that, so it may not do that because that doesn't seem.
Because if it's happening down in the app server code that is specifically looking for that, if that's a magic value to the app server code that's doing all this stuff,
yeah,
then Andrew, our table doesn't exist in the app server. If it's saying, okay, here is the table, I'm going to extract the table out of this particular magic format here.
Yeah.
It may not be doing that. It may be looking for a hard-coded string, which is that. Right. This may be a one and done special case in the platform. But
or it may be only for task extended tables.
Well, I won't put that past you.
Right? Because that's a thing.
Our example, we did this with the safety app and it worked.
Yeah, and that's task extended.
That was task extended.
So that doesn't. So it's good that it worked for some other table, but that doesn't necessarily.
You're not willing to roll the dice?
I mean, I'm willing to roll the dice, but that's just weird. This is just weird.
This is weird.
I don't like it when the answer is do this and magic happens behind the scene.
If you name it a specific thing, something different will happen. That's
if I name this thing.
Yeah. Oh, there's lots of legacy stuff that had magic in it.
That is this is definitely down into the. Well, that's some magic, and that is just some magic. All right, so I
got to remember this probably predates me, so this is like 2008 or earlier code.
Yeah, I mean this might be this might be Fred Luddy or David Liu.
I'm thinking it was.
And also, and I apologize, I'm only tackling your second name because I can't attempt your first name. But so Janos is saying that it also is possible that a scoped app is not going to. Like a scoped table is not going to be
accessible. So yeah, it is entirely possible that thing can't reach into my scope.
Well, no, the safety app was scoped too, so we're good there.
Well then, it's either task-based dependent or not is where really where we're at. So if I go find my, I did create one of these, I believe. So let's just go to.
You did.
We don't have very much time, so we will try just a little bit, and if we fail, that's okay. So
you called it iCalendar.artifact. Fourth one down.
Fourth one down. There it is. Yes, and I'll need to rename that. Oh, and I dropped it in the global scope.
Oops. So you need to delete that.
I think it was required, but I'm going to leave it in the global. Do you think we should make it in the R scope?
Well, if you ever move this to another instance, that's not coming along with it.
Well, you think there's only one thing that is that's just contained in the scope. That is not as clean as life is. Artifact, new, and table artifact name iCalendar x underscore SNC artifact org artifact, and the type is I don't remember. I want to do it exactly the same way, so
let's see if I can find it real fast.
I pulled it up on another tab, and it is type iCalendar. So that might be
Okay.
the wizardry there.
That could be.
Is
That could be.
all of the fields under here do the magic for me.
The save, and then we'll
Then the field mappings. Oh, but we didn't have our fields.
well, yeah,
the table wasn't available. Hey, it auto-populated from the parent.
Maybe that's why it wasn't available. We didn't finish the job.
Okay. Whatever, you crazy kids. Database field, end date field. All right. Field, database field is going to be our end time. That was DT end.
Yep.
Save.
So from the chat, Todd says he successfully created invites, but then the person was unable to delete the invite.
I mean, that's a feature, my friend, not a bug.
You will attend this meeting.
You will attend. All right. Back to our record.
Almost as much fun as a mandatory read-only field.
So DT start, DT end.
Yep.
All that looks reasonable. So if we
want to go hit preview again?
If we go back to our email template, this one, we need to adjust.
Oh.
We need to adjust to use those.
It already is.
No.
Oh no, you had changed.
No, it wasn't.
Yep,
Yeah.
you already changed them.
Come
on.
I don't know.
Click.
It's thinking, I think.
I don't see a waiting for.
I don't either, but all right. Email templates. Sure thing, man. My instance is not pleased with me today. It's not pleased with the offering. And this is DT start, DT end. This was also DT start. Okay, that is reasonable. And now we go to our notification. Every table should be sorted by updated.
Pretty much.
I once made a script that did that.
Hopefully it was just for your preferences, not for everybody.
Yeah, it was for my user record. Well, it was for whatever user loaded it for their user preferences.
Gotcha.
It added the updated field to every view and sorted by that. Because, I get annoyed. All right, state, work in progress, stream. Yeah. We'll just do stream invite. You convinced me. All right, let's run it. Artifact.
You didn't want to try just the preview notification again?
Oh, sure. I mean, we can give it a whirl. 2019.
I don't see any mapped dates and times.
Yeah, but I don't know that the other one.
I don't know that the preview is going to do all that unwinding.
Oh, that's true.
We could go check the existing one to see, but I think we'll just send one and see if it works.
Okay. From the one where you filled in the
let's do one
required fields.
Let's do one Hail Mary and
then wrap it up.
Either succeed or fail.
Yeah. Add your name to the required host at least.
So I just need to insert a new record. Testing. Ready. We're gonna ready to work. Insert and stay. Then I'll add myself. Andrew and Dave. All right.
There's an icon for adding yourself.
Hey.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Leave me alone.
You want to work in progress, right?
Let's change this date to 4/5 and then work in progress. And then that should send a notification. And outbox. Stream invite. Dave Slusher. Will you check your email, sir?
I am checking my email right now. I have not gotten it via actual email, but
Oh, well, it was still in
Do
the
we have-
outbox. So
do we have sending enabled? I don't remember if we do.
I see mail 2 is empty. Attendee role.
that is a good question. Ready. No, and we're not going to turn it on with a bunch of stuff stuck in the outbox.
For right now,
So
let's just dig into that.
yeah, let's just look and see what was generated, which
I
was
saw some gaps
created today. All right, let's take a look. Did we get no
recipients either?
No recipients. Womp womp.
Description came out. Some of the other fields did. The importance did.
So yeah, the things from the record itself did, but the auto conversion stuff didn't.
Yes, the sequence is there.
The magic didn't happen. Well, that's sad.
But I think it's good enough for a start. It's a place to begin.
It is good enough for a start. I agree. So that was pretty close to what we wanted to do today. So that was all right. We've got the essence there, and if we have to, I could do the Zulu conversion if for some reason that it's only task-based records can do it. So I'll run that down a little bit.
I know for a fact that I have done, but I believe I was using Moment to do that, where I would take a glide date time and then turn it to that. I don't remember if it. I think I did that just because like the formatting is non-trivial with glide, the glide system.
Yeah, and you just import and use Moment. And
if that is literally the only thing you want to do, Moment might be a tad heavy for that. So
I've written that function more than once.
Well, I think we have it already loaded in our system here.
Probably somewhere. Yeah,
that's actually true.
So it won't be hard to at least try that. So we got fairly close. We got step 1, which was check that freaking box in YouTube for me. So that part is done. And then getting this calendar invite, once we get the dates in there, really will be on our way with that one. So that shouldn't be too much follow up. I just need to determine whether or not it is dependent on task based. So what I'll do is I'll just do another one that is task based in this instance and see if there was just something weird. I mean, you said you accomplished it with the safety app, but
yep,
I'll do it on this instance and make sure that there's not something wonky on this instance versus just task based versus not, and validate that I typed the things correctly, because you never know. So that was good. Thank you so much for looking up all those reference things. Both of y'all did good reference looking up today.
Teamwork.
And our great community out there helping us be better. We appreciate it. Let's go through our beers. So my sweet baby Jesus was very tasty. And surprisingly, given how much I was talking, it is gone. So it was really, we've got a space invader. It was really good. It's a if it didn't have peanut butter, it would be higher, but it's a solid 4 for me.
Good. I'm going to give the Stone Ripper a solid 3.5. I'm sort of on the, I thought it was an IPA. It's not. It's just a pale ale, which is why I didn't get choked by hops. Pleasant. I mean, it's getting to be fall and winter time, so I think I'm out of the mood for a pale ale. But that's I am in a better mood for doing expense reports this afternoon, though.
Oh.
All right, my Polly's Island Oktoberfest. Don't love it, don't hate it. I'm gonna give it like a 3.25. Not wonderful, not terrible.
So. I see a guest.
All right.
Come see us on the developer website, developer.servicenow.com. Get your instance. Check us out there on the blog. Check out Chuck's community stream. That place is awesome. I love when I can go visit it. And thank you for joining us, everyone. And we will be back next week, I believe, again. And then we'll see you then. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
All right.